This is our fully rigged Vinny. Smart bones and everything are in place. Let's look now at creating morphs, both for expressions and hand gestures that we can then use and roll into some cyclical animation if we need to do that. We want kind of a range of expressions. They'll all be rather fleeting, but we'll want to do it and possibly repeat them in the course of even this small animation segment. So let's create some new ones. Very, very important thing, I have the top bone layer selected as opposed to an individual layer pre-selected within the Vinny character. Again, the reason for this is that when you create morphs at a top level, it will always be accessible regardless of what level you choose inside of the character. If you choose only the specific level that the effects are going to be carried out on, you have to select that level to even see the morph target as an option. So we're at the very top here. Let's go ahead with our actions and create a new one. And let's make this one, I don't know, how about Sleepy? We'll get his eyes closed a little bit. The life of a bank robber isn't always exciting. So we've got Sleepy engaged. Our timeline has changed. Let me zoom in just a little bit on our character. And I want to work on the eye layer. So I'm going to come down to head, eyes. With that highlighted, I'll grab my translation tool here. And I'm going to maybe shrink this up a little bit. Let me zoom in a little bit more just because. And pull this down. I'm going to make his eyes a little bit at half mast here. He's just getting sleepy. Do the same thing over here real quick. And pull that up. As we back out just a little bit. Yep, just kind of sleepy there. All right, let's jump to the main timeline right here. That looks good. Next one, let's have our character look maybe with a little surprise to his left at least, because we're going to have a cat that pops into the scene. And I would like him to acknowledge that, but I want to maybe combine some of these things between sleepy and blinks and all sorts of things that are going on here. So let's go ahead and create a new one real easily. And you can see how easy morphs are to create. And it's so nice because it's just a slider control to work with that. So we'll call this look left. And this again is the character's left. And I'll qualify this by saying questioningly. There we go. We are back into this. I'll zoom into the face so we get a good idea of what's going on here. We are working with the eyes again. And I may do something with the mouth a little bit too, but let's see. Translation tool. I'm going to go ahead and move this over. Select the highlight. The highlights I left free, so if I wanted for some reason to go ahead and animate a highlight, I can do that. Instead of, I suppose I could put them into a little group, but that's a nested group. And when we start getting that far down, I try to avoid that a little bit. So let's go ahead and select individual points now. Okay, there we go, on the eyebrows. We'll get this one to arch up just a little bit. Maybe we'll get this midpoint up. I wanted to make sure I had enough points in here that I could do this real easily. And we'll pull this down so we get this one eyebrow raised like, well, like Spock would do. Spock would be proud. Let me go ahead and pull up the center one just a little bit. And back out. So we've got them going that way. Maybe I want to create one for a smile or a brief little glimmer of a smile. So I'm going to come back to the timeline. This levels out. Again, gets back to normal. Let's create another one. And we'll call this one Smile Half. Back down here. And you know what? Let me delete that. I need to come back up to the top layer for Vinny 3/4. And look, I created that surprise look left here only on the eye layer. So now you can see how it appears when I'm down there. I'm going to leave that for now, but I may change that here shortly. We'll come back to the Vinny top level and I'll recreate a half smile. Smile half. All right, that's been completed. The morphs take place regardless of what level you're on. So my having it on this layer makes it a little bit harder to find if I'm looking for it. It's not a right or wrong way per se, but it does make you hunt a little bit if you have a ton of morphs. All right, I'll choose the mouth layer. Grab my translation tool. Go ahead and select this one point right here. Hey, and he's not all bad. Let's go ahead and let him curve up his smile just a little bit. pull this down. He might like looking at that cat, I don't know. And we've got another point about here. His head is behind the shirt layer, the body layer. So that is kind of going up under his chin there just a little bit. Go ahead and bring that up. We may adjust the shirt layer a little bit further down the road so we don't have that issue right there. Okay, and mainline. Let's go ahead and see how these are looking real quickly. We're not going to do an animation here, but we'll just do a proof of concept. I will open the blend morphs here for our morph targets. Now notice none of them are showing up, and it's because we're not into the actual animatable portion of the scene. So I will step forward one frame. All of a sudden here now, since I have the mouth layer selected, I can see I've got the smile half. I can go well beyond 100% there. So I'll keep it right there. If I want to go up to a higher level, I can do that, and we see other morphs that I have available, like Sleepy. His eyes are shutting down. We can, again, do the smile half if we want. We can make him sleepy at the same time. And this is the reason you would want to create a morph at the top level instead of an individual level, because if I want to combine look left, I can't do that right here.